19 years ago today, an album came out that absolutely changed my life. And I mean that sincerely, and I mean it positively. On August 10th of 2004, Ultra Bridge released their debut album, One Day Remains. I have it right here. I've had it multiple times, and I'm just going to talk about it and talk about the songs and how it really has affected my life. So, open it up, take the booklet out. I just want to, real quick, when you open it up, you got the nice little picture of the guys there. Myles Kennedy looking all pouty face with his nice short hair. On the back, you got the track listings. Like I said, released in 04, produced and mixed, recorded by Ben Gross, co-produced and arranged by Ultra Bridge. So, this was obviously the beginning of their career. Creed was freshly broken up. As you will read in the liner notes, most of the songs, all of the songs were written by Mark Tremonti. Myles Kennedy had co-written some of them. And so you can tell that when you hear it, that it was very Creed-esque, but not, it was different. You know what I mean? I think, I don't think they were 100% where to go, what they wanted yet, because if you listen to Ultra Bridge now, it's very different than this Ultra Bridge, and I'm fine with it. I love it all. But this one, yeah, you got like I said, you got the liner notes, you got the lyrics in there. I love when bands do that. On here, you have the nice little picture, nice little word thing here, and word thing here. What am I talking about? Nice little happy world there. Then it's dark over here. It's One Day Remains, and if you open it up inside, you've got this nice little poster, One Day Remains, and it has some lyrics from One Day Remains. And so basically, what I want to do is just go through track by track, talk about how it is, what it sounds, what it means to me. Number one, Find the Real. It's a really nice kickoff to the album. I mean, it literally starts, dun, 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 and although Ultra Bridge was not what I would consider heavy at this point, it definitely showed the heavier side of this album. There's a couple songs that are a little heavier than most on this one, and I know that people call this Creed light and haha, but even Creed had some heavier stuff. Obviously, this is nowhere near Ultra Bridge that we know and love today, but this was, what we had, and is what we came out with. The first time I ever actually saw Ultra Bridge or listened to them, my buddy Brian Gregg, love you, brother, he showed me them. He discovered them a little bit before I did, and he showed me their debut TV performance on Jimmy Kimmel. And if you watch it, it's open your eyes. And if you watch it, you can just see the nerves, especially with Myles Kennedy. It's a really great performance, though. But so track number one, Find the Real. It really it's a nice. It's not overly heavy, like I said. None of the tracks on this one are, but it's a nice kick in. Dun, 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 dun. And it's just a real nice kind of, it's a song that to me expresses kind of figuring out, find the real, what it is, where you are, what is your truth kind of a thing. And it's just a very nice opening thing. And they still play it live to this day. I think it's usually their second track that they'll play in their concerts. Which is awesome. They still play it to this day, after 19 years. The next one we have is the title track itself, One Day Remains. And this one is more, what I've gathered from it is kind of like when you don't see something in yourself, and it's the writer, in this case, Mark Tremonti and Myles Kennedy, as it says in the booklet, are kind of looking at the person or persons, and they're seeing the potential that the person does not see in themselves. And it's just talking about, basically let it shine, let it come out. Let's, here it is. Track number 3 is Open Your Eyes. Now, this was the first single, I believe, off the album, and it is also a fan favorite, mine as well. First song I ever heard from them. That was, like I said, this was the one they debuted on Jimmy Kimmel. And it is incredible. It is really just talking about unity. And, once you realize we're all the same, we're all in this together, let's just be one. Let's be together, unity. And that's what we need to strive for in the world. And they did an excellent rendition of portraying that in the song itself. Next, track number 4 is Burn It Down. And this one was all written by Mark Tremonti, music, melody, and lyrics. And this one, it talks about just kind of Once again, from what I've gathered, I haven't talked to the band members themselves about it, although I have met them and they're all very nice. Um, it's very just kind of like it reminds me of like it's speaking like a hangover. He talks about how he drank too much, the night before, and he's just feeling rough. And then he's talking about like burn down this feeling, but I don't think it's burn down this hangover feeling. I think it's like this uselessness. This like he just talks about how he just give him something new. Let's have something um, more than what this terribleness is. Track number 5, Metalingus. This one is, yes, exactly as sexual as it sounds. It is. They combined the words metal, like metal, and then cunnilingus. I don't exactly know where that came from. I don't know why it came from that. It has absolutely nothing to do with this song, because the song is actually just about kind of again, talking about I'm seeing clearly now. The chorus, on this day I see clearly, everything has come to light. And Edge, actually, the WWE star, this is his debut song, or no, not debut. This is his entrance song. So every time, even into now, when you watch him, like when you see him at like WrestleMania, different things like that, he still comes cranking to this song, and it's so awesome that that so many people, I think a lot of Ultra Bridges was never really a big American band when they came out. I think they were supposed to, because they were supposed to be like Creed Jr., which they weren't, of course. And I think that Edge using that as his theme has kept them relevant in the States, because if you watch WWE like I do, you see when Edge comes out and this song comes, the crowd sings it, they go nuts, and it's just an incredible thing. But it's a really nice, like I said, they don't go super heavy on the sound, but this one they do have a little bit of a crunchy breakdown, and it's nice. Track number 6, Broken Wings. This one everything was written by Mark Tremonti as well. This one is very remnant of, I kind of feel like it's more of a letter to people that feel broken, like himself, at least at the time maybe that he wrote this, and everybody else. Broken wings, I'm falling and it won't be long. The skin on me is burning by the flares of the sun. And it's just talking about eventually these things are going to, I think, eventually this is just going to crumble like it already feels it is. But I think there's just a little bit of a hope in there, and I love it. Track number 7, arguably the most important track on the album, and it is arguably the most important track to me as an Ultra Bridge fan, especially with the passing of my grandmother. It's called In Loving Memory. Mark Tremonti, it's a ballad. Mark Tremonti wrote it for his mother. And on the Live from Amsterdam DVD, he talks about how, when people have expressed how much it means to them, like myself. And he said that when he wrote it, he had written a million songs, lyrically, to try to fit the right words in there. And I think he has done an excellent job. This song has held the test of time. They sing it outside of like festival settings every time. When it's an Ultra Bridge show, they play it at every show. Usually it's stripped down acoustically now, which is incredible. I have yet to hear it. I will one day. I know I will, but it really is just a wonderful, wonderful song. And then in the next one, track number 8, down to my last, it's a nice pickup. It comes kind of in, with kind of like Find the Real. It's just like that, and they were like da, 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 da. And it's still like a really nice melodic, pretty song, but it also shows it's like kind of a hopeful song again. He's saying, I'm down to my last, but I'm ready to go. I'm ready to find out what I can do. Where can I accomplish? What can I accomplish? Where can I go from here? It's more of a hopeful song once again. The next one, Watch Your Words. This one is more, this is kind of where I can see why people have always misunderstood them to be a Christian band. Well, because of Creed, and I know there was a lot of biblical references and things like that, but to me, Watch Your Words, when I really listen to the lyrics and I really pay attention to them, it says, there's a line right here. Truly see well, you must have faith. The righteous, they can't wait. A saving grace that all we know. Let us pray. Let us hold on. And I'm not saying it's a religious song, but it's definitely I feel like there's a faith there, whether it's, in religion or humanity, whatever it may be. So I can see why people, might assume that they're a religious band. They're not. They've always said that they weren't. But I can see why people say it in that one. The next one, Shed My Skin, is another one for me personally. I feel like it was a song written for me, and I know that I'm not being selfish here in the sense of like, oh, it's my song, but I really identify with it. It's especially after being sober. It's very, like, okay, I'm done with this. Whatever this is, I'm done with this. I'm done with this loneliness, this regret, this horrible feeling. I'm ready to be out of this. And what they accomplish in this one is that and 10 times more. The melody, the vocals, the guitar work, the drums, the bass, the everything about this song to me is just all encompassing of what Alter Bridge is and what they can be continuing forward. And it's I really don't have the right words. I mean, I know I tried to explain it there, but it truly is just incredible. It really is. And once again, Mark Tremonti wrote everything, music, melody, and lyrics. And the final track on the album, number 11, is The End Is Here. And this one, once again, it was another one that I had seen. I think this was the song that Brian introduced me to after Open Your Eyes, because they played it at Ozfest in '05, I want to say, '06 maybe, whichever Ozfest they were on. And if you look it up, first of all, it's a great performance of it. But if you look it up, that specific Ozfest, Mark Tremonti, and I think he continues to do this. He, does a little ditty before it kicks in, and he turns London Bridge, London Bridge is falling, into the lead riff, kicking it in. And it starts like a slow, somber kind of a vibe to it. And then it really, kicks you in the face with the heaviness. And like I said, when I say heaviness, I'm not talking like Fortress heavy, I'm not talking later albums heavy. I'm talking for this heavy, but it's heavy enough nonetheless. And, what can I say? I mean, as far as enjoyment and meaning, this is a perfect 10 out of 10 album for me. It really is. It's incredible. I love it. There's nothing negative to say about it. I love everything about it. I really do. I love the artwork. I love the sound, production. And I know there's a lot of people that, like I said, they just consider it Creed. But, you always have to respect where you're from. And had this album not come out, we would not have Blackbird, which is, their, I think, most sold, most widely recognized album. It was their sophomore album, but regardless, we wouldn't have Fortress. We wouldn't have The Last Year. We wouldn't have just had Pawns and Kings. These albums would not exist at all if it was not for this album. And so, with all the criticism it may get as far as being too soft and too Creed-like, and I understand it. I don't agree, but I understand why people said that, especially if a lot of people, I think, North American, got into Alter Bridge really around AB3, when they released that album. And so, and when you look at that compared to this, it's AB3 is a lot of non-hope, and this one is a lot of hope-filled. So I can definitely see, the dynamic between the two, and I definitely can see why people are kind of like, what, like this is, Isolation was the biggest song, and I think for America, I think it's their biggest hit they've ever had, and it was on AB3. But regardless, it's just a juxtapose to this album. And what more can I say? I love it. Happy anniversary, Alter Bridge. Thank you so much for giving us this album and continuing to just wow us with the best music that I've ever personally heard. Your guys' solo stuff, Myles Kennedy, Mark Tremonti, but the four of you guys get together and it's freaking magic. I mean, for me, this is. I know that in the world they're not the Beatles, but for me, this is my Beatles. They're the best. But like I said, 10 out of 10 review on that one, guys. Happy anniversary, Alter Bridge, and I will be back with another video.